We're live.
Gosh, I think we're here. Are we here?
We did it.
We here. Do we have Amber's audio?
I'm here.
You there? Hi.
Am I here?
You can turn her down a little bit. She's a little hot, but yeah, she's here.
That's
hot.
right, Chanda.
Yeah, you're hot.
You are hot, Mama.
You are hot.
What's up,
Mama?
chat? Good to see you.
Is it just the hot flash or is it just me?
I never know anymore, right?
Yeah, we
But don't go taking no fucking hormones. That's what made me sick.
Yeah,
I learned the hard way.
Hormones, man. No, that's no good.
Our advice for the rest of the night is rub castor oil on it. All of it.
Just rub castor oil on it for anything, everything.
Okay, is that better?
You got it, Oz? Yeah, it's been a little bit of an engineering feat to get all three of us in here tonight, but we're here. Yay! The dive's back. We used to do this. Now, the dive is an old show that we are bringing back for you guys, and this is a dive bar that we used to hang out in, every Monday night? Did we do these every Monday or something for like a year or something?
Every Monday for a good solid 2 years, I think.
I can't believe that we did the number of shows that we did back in those days. 10 o'clock every morning, and then we did shows at night. Who was the maniac that did that shit?
Us. Your schedule, man.
Yeah, I know.
We just followed along.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You didn't get the outstream, right, Oz? From me?
What?
You got the outstream keys, right?
No, I did not.
Oh, bummer.
Let me go look.
They're there for you.
We need to get them set up in the caster so they're just static and they're in there whenever we go live. We can just turn them on. Just set them up. Our system's different than it used to be for sure, so it takes us a little bit to work the bugs out. But I really like this studio. The studio is so much smoother than all of the umpteen billion studios that we have streamed from over the last 5 years. That's for sure.
No, it's kind of insane. The difference, I mean, the stability, because we got more heat going out than what we normally would. I think it was like
because we're hot.
Now we're up to 6, so that's a good thing.
That's good.
We're up to 6. So you want to shout out the chat while I try and get these upstream keys?
I will. Our peeps, they found us. What's up, chat? I see Vic's here. Hey, Vic, what's up? Vic says, sounds good. Audio's good. Free Thinker 59. I threw a wrench at you. I don't know why you wouldn't have one, but you got one now. Sansanchez US, welcome. Wait, what about hormones? I went on hormone replacement therapy and it gave me super cancer. So if you have cancer cells in your body and they are now offering hormone replacement therapy, which they weren't doing for many years. Why? Because it caused cancer. But now Big Pharma don't care because, hey, they make money on either side of it. So, yeah, be really careful about that and ask your doctors lots of questions. Just my opinion. Not giving out medical advice, but I'm telling you what happened to me. Anthony, what's up, Anthony? Rat Angel says, thank God I got the notification. Good to see you, Rat Angel. Hey, Mastermind, what's up? Fred Edwards found his way over from Rumble since Rumble rammed us right up the ass after 5 years. Thanks for following us. Steve G, what's up? Steve Wolfbrandt, we got the Steves in the house tonight. Steve. And Chris found us. What's up, Chris? Who else? Who else? Popeye. What's up, Popeye? Popeye was first in, like Popeye always is. Yeah, Dingo. A Dingo ate me, baby. Good to see you, Dingo. And Dingo's hanging out over on the YouTube tonight. Dingo, I normally see you over on the Rumble. Lady Alex. Hi, Lady Alex. Lady Alex is getting ready to retire. Congrats. Kill your E Gray Gross. Good to see ya. And over on the Rumble, we got Ghost Art and Spirit of the Age. And then there's a bunch of other platforms we're on out there that I'm not logged into right now.
TPP,
So,
you got it.
my bad.
TPP, you're on TPP.
Oh, let me get logged into TPP. I'm not even there. I'm not even on my own channel.
It says it's connected, Amber. So you want to look?
Yeah.
Check it and see if you are connected on our other channels. Oh, there we are. Yeah, we are live on Trailer Park Pundit. Hello, if you're watching on TPP.
Yeah. Or on did we make it to Rumble? I'll check.
Yes,
Rumble.
I just shouted out Rumble. We are hot on to go. Don't you mean Rockfin? Yeah, I did mean Rockfin. Sorry, not Rumble. But yeah, Rumble kind of screws us too.
Yeah, Rumble.
Peace Dove and Kate are hanging out at the trailer park. Hey, good to see you guys. Hi, Kate. How's it going?
Hi, Kate. What's going on?
Kate and Peace Dove and Popeye are hanging out at the trailer park.
Right on. Good to see everybody.
Yeah, we're also on the Roar Media Rumble. We're on Odyssey, Kick. Where else? Where else are all these places? And then there's that. Where are we not on?
Hey, Snarky.
Yeah.
Snarky's here.
I've lost. It's funny. We had all of those like strange Russian and Korean spaces.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to go on any of those anyway now either, which sucks. But whatever.
Oh, well, it is okay.
Whatever. That sucks.
I'm gonna get comfortable here. I didn't put my hair on, so I just put my hair hat on. I'm really kind of scrounging it tonight.
I didn't wear my hair. You said, I'm not wearing any hair tonight. I said, fine, neither am I.
Well,
and
I got my hair hat. That doesn't count, does it? Hi, Vic.
It does count. Now
Chris
I'm sitting here with no hair.
Did you say?
My hair.
Did you say Anthony is in the house?
Yeah, Anthony's in the house.
Anthony is in the house. Good to see you, Anthony. We got some announcements at the end, and I made an outro for tonight too. It's just one. It's one song, but it's pretty good. The ladies approved it before we started the show, and I think you'll enjoy it. But it was fun making an outro for the evening dive, and our plans for this is to do it a couple of times a month, possibly in the not too distant future. Is that right?
Yeah.
And Amber, tell us what you plan on doing with Brave New Future.
Finally able to restart Brave New Future. I'm gonna go on Tuesday evenings at 7.
Great.
So,
okay.
No, that's
great. That'll be good. We'll have me in the morning on Mondays, then we'll have you on Tuesdays, then we'll have Wednesday dives, and then we will have Saturday Beauty and the Boomers. So, haha, look at Roar. We're coming back. We're roaring back.
We're roaring back.
Coming at it. So I'm excited. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, you do.
Places you won't find us anymore, obviously, not on Rockfin. So Roar is looking for new ways to support itself and sustain the future of the nonprofit. So check out the rundown for the link to the Roar Media Restream and all the different link trees in there where you can find all of our different support channels and, buy us coffee, buy actual coffee, imaginary coffee, which by the way, I had a lovely cup of Joey's this morning. Delish.
You're so lucky. I haven't had one in a while.
I was going to bring some cocktails, some mocktails. I was going to see if you guys could just watch me like guzzle straight coconut oil because I'm doing keto diet out of a martini glass. I thought that'd be super fun for you all, but I went with Joey's instead.
Well, you'll be happy to know we just got a shipment of Brazilian in, so we'll send you a couple of samples there.
I love the Brazilian.
Yeah.
I do. I love
it. New source, and no tariff yet. We bought some because
no
we don't
tariff
know what
yet.
those tariffs are going to do, and probably double the amount. But what are you going to do? So let's get this thing going here, shall we? You brought this, Amber. What is this?
Well, just thought I'd start us off.
Oh, not the wiener.
A little wiener action for us all. This is Anthony Weiner's little meltdown he had the other day, and I thought it was
I haven't
just fun
seen this.
doing little killery, and the nice medication that we do recommend for the Israeli honeypots. So yeah,
Which I hear.
You should cut that list out. Your reputation is you like to text underage girls, sending pictures of your dangling. That's your reputation. Whatever you do, you can't do anything about it. Bill Clinton officiated your wedding with Uma, your wife, if I'm not mistaken. So you've been very close, and she was a right-hand person to Hillary Clinton in 2016 while the scandal was taking place.
For years before that, she was with Hillary for 20 years.
Email 650,000, one folder with the word life insurance and the files that are in there. So 9 out of 12 cops, NYPD, who saw the email and saw what was in that laptop, committed suicide. And the most ever that this took place, and these are the men that committed suicide. First thing I ask myself is, how the hell is Anthony Weiner still alive? Well, when you go through the list of people that have been close to Hillary Clinton and the Clintons, this is not a conspiracy. You got the names of James McDougal, died of an apparent heart attack. Mary Mahoney, former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop. Victor Razor, you got Ed Woolley. It's 46 names.
He's just reading the article. He's reading a list of names.
So,
he hasn't even asked the question. It's a list.
The fact that you're getting nervous is an answer.
It's not
okay?
nervous. This stuff
Let
makes
me
me
wrap
sick
it.
when you repeat
Exactly.
these
Makes us want to
ridiculous.
go.
How about you pick one? Pick one and tell me who he was and what his story was.
Pull up Vince Foster if you want.
Vince Foster, that suicide has been investigated 50 times.
Can you let me ask the question?
No, listen, this is a conversation.
No.
We're having a conversation.
I'm sorry, I'm the host. You invited your podcast to get to I'm the host. I want to ask you the question. Your
Hold on.
reaction is already an answer.
I know. I am infuriated by people
I
who drag
understand
other
why
people's
you would
names.
be.
You are
Like Kate
powerless.
McCall.
You're not powerless.
Hillary Clinton is
I'm not-
powerless?
No, these people.
Hillary Clinton is
These
powerless.
people.
That's the problem.
These people.
Hillary's the problem.
You read a list of people because you have the power to do it. People who do that are bullies, and I don't appreciate those.
I have the power to do what?
You do. To read a list of some stranger's
I
names.
have the power to use the DOJ and other things to control.
That's not DOJ.
Yeah.
DOJ didn't make this
Let me
list.
finish up my
Some
question.
jackass made a list in his
You have
basement.
the right to
You're reading their
answer.
names as if they're incriminating in
You have
some
the
way.
right to-
Some conspiracy theory
special
podcast.
basement?
Some conspiracy theory that 9 people
I
read.
got you.
You find some guy that comes in, and then
Congratulations,
you go from Ron Brown to some obscure officer
Yes.
that used to protect Bill Clinton, who passed away.
How is it that the reputation that follows them is people close to them die?
You should cut that list
the
out.
angle you did. You're
You should
exactly.
cut. Listen to me. You're talking about this now.
Okay.
You should cut that list out of those.
Sure,
people. We can still
absolutely.
have the argument. You and I are big boys. Cut that list
I'm
out.
not going to be cutting that list.
Wow.
When was
So
this?
you
aired?
heard? This was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just thought it was fucking hilarious.
So did
After
you
all
hear
this-
that the scandal that's coming for RFK Jr. has got the Wagner Group and the same people that controlled Uma Abedin and Hillary Clinton and ultimately Weiner all over it? So really it's the Democrats that are coming for RFK Jr. with this fucking scandal.
It's the Israeli Kazakarian honeypot, and they want
Yep.
their vaccine money. God damn it!
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty wild.
That's
Yeah.
funny, though. I love where
mean,
he
I know
says,
we covered it in real time too, so it's just
yeah, we did cover it in real time back in the day. And when it comes to all those names on that list, he's like, oh, it's just a list somebody made up in their basement. Dude, what is their obsession with basements? Hillary Clinton likes to, oh, those basement dwellers. They're always talking about people in the fucking basement. Like, they're the ones in the basement. And we know what they do.
confirmed
in there.
tunnel in the Diddy files with the latest lawsuit
Yeah.
that has been added.
What do
with
you
the
think
latest-
about Diddy? We're going to talk about Epstein because I've got Virginia Gouffre on the deck. That's a crazy, weird story I'm not buying into either.
I mean, I think it's just another piece of this same fucking puzzle.
Yeah. I
So
wonder,
it's
I just wonder how much prosecution we're going to actually see of Diddy. It seems like he's a sacrificial lamb for whatever reason. They decided to throw him under the bus because when you're at that level, like with Epstein, they obviously chose to cut him loose as an asset. Like, you're causing too much shit. We got to let you cut you loose, whether he's sitting on some fucking island still alive or they actually offed him. Either way, they cut him loose enough, but they're still protecting him to this day. I mean, look at the stupid stunt that Trump did at the White House just last month with the binders, and then he brought in all the right media influencers and then it turns out it was nothing but a binder full of redacted bullshit that you and I have already looked at these files brought to you guys years ago with the actual information.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing new.
So is TikTok have to be sold pretty soon, or what's going on with that? You brought this Amazon
That's on hold
deal.
right now, as far as I know.
This is new, actually. It was put on hold in December, or no, January 20th, I think. And now this is as of today, Amazon is making a bid for it to buy it. Because
Oh,
I know Elon tried to
shocked.
buy it, and now Amazon's trying to buy it.
Oh my god,
Uh,
because Bezos needs this shit.
yeah, right. I mean, it goes with the giant clock, tick tock.
I heard somebody actually say that they liked Bezos as their favorite millionaire because he doesn't seem to involve himself in politics. And I thought, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he owns the Washington. Like, what are you talking about? He owns the fucking media. He doesn't have to go out there and blab like Elon or these other fucking fools because he pulls the strings from behind the media's machine. Like, yeah, I just thought that was funny. Oh, he doesn't, bother himself with politics. Like, you're an idiot.
That's insane. Not true.
And the amount of deaths that are coming out of Amazon warehouses is mind blowing. I saw a report the other day about the deaths that are occurring and the policies inside these Amazon warehouses where they're not allowed to call 911, and they have Amacare, which is off-duty EMTs or wannabes that are supposedly like the go-between if you're sick and if they let you leave the warehouse. And people are having heart attacks and dying in back rooms and shit, and they're not finding them for 24 hours. And like, it's a big conspiracy that's being covered up that nobody fucking knows about.
Well, a couple of years ago they started building all the warehouses in direct proximity to prison populations, so they can.
good
Oh, well,
idea.
that's smart.
So you're picking from the cream of the crop to start with, like, and then everybody's got to be quadruple jib jab.
Yeah, right.
What do you
And
think's
then you
gonna
got to have your
happen?
tracker on so they know where you're at all times, and if you're
Did you
moving
put that
fast
meme
enough.
up there, Amber? Is
I,
that
I might have.
my wife asked me why I spoke so softly in the house? I said I was afraid Mark Zuckerberg was listening. She laughed and I laughed. Alexa laughed, Siri laughed, and God knows who else is going to laugh. So that's funny. I like that.
I
like
just
that.
assume that everything I say and everything I do at all fucking times is being recorded. And, like, even in my own bedroom, like, I unplug my camera as soon as I'm done with the show at all times. Like, I don't leave my camera plugged in anymore.
I take my pants off.
Well, I actually did that by accident once, right
Yes,
after I
you
did a show with Indy.
Yes, you did.
Right
Yes.
after I did a show with Indy,
you
like,
did.
I shut everything down and I forgot that I was logged into one more, like, Discord or something. And I just got up and started getting undressed. And ever since then, I make sure my camera's unplugged and off. Oh my God.
Oh
how
my
embarrassing.
goodness.
Yeah, you don't want Pornhub finding out. So,
No, I
Is it-
resisted. I kept my clothes on visiting the cherry trees at the University of Washington.
Oh, the cherry trees are beautiful. I was visiting them at this time 8 years ago. I saw it in my memories. I was like, oh, I want to go to the quad.
what were
I
you
know.
doing
We
up
always
there?
missed them in DC.
Were
So,
you getting arrested up
Yeah.
there? Or what?
Looks like an
no.
arrested.
I went for
What's the answer?
tacos and a walk through the park. And the best part, it's a huge cherry blossom festival going on
Yeah.
through the whole U district. And we tried to bring
It's
the
so
kids, and
pretty.
they're like, "Who goes and looks at trees?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, 20,000 people today
Yeah.
at best."
So that's the University of Washington's quad. It's actually it's beautiful at this time of the year. There's so many cherry blossoms. But yeah, us old people, we like to look at cherry blossoms. I don't know.
And
Yeah,
architecture.
especially old boomers.
And,
Yeah, I
and
love
tulips.
architecture.
Tulip season's coming.
My
Yeah.
my dentist, when he sold his business, I really was sad because he had diffusers in the ceiling instead of those little prism things. He had cherry blossoms in there. And I can't believe the new dentist, who is actually a good dentist, took them out. It was so pleasant having to lay there for an hour, but I got to look at cherry blossoms.
Oh,
there.
those
So
things they stick up.
Yeah,
in
the
Yeah.
diffusers. Yeah, I miss that. Who brought the zero hedge? Was that me or you guys?
I did. I thought this was pretty crazy. You know, the mind-blowing chart showing the numbers of illegal aliens, and I know that we talked a lot about it during when it was happening, and we're going, This appears to be a global scheme. This appears to be a global scheme. And how else best to destabilize everything and cause like anger and disrupt and sow dissent and push something at the same time they're grifting the money. I mean, if you look at some of the shit that Doge has pulled out, it's incredible the amount of 115-year-olds getting social securities and under 10 years old getting PPP protection loans during,
So that's all true.
Yes.
I thought it was bullshit. It's true, huh?
It's true. It's only bullshit if you're watching MSN.
Oh, we don't watch any of that stuff.
Well, but look at the everyday people that can beg and be dying, and it takes them fucking months and years to even get a hold of Social Security, let alone on Social Security. I finally just got on. Like, I just got my checks this week, so thank God I'm on. I'm covered, but yeah, it is awesome. It took a huge weight off of me, but yeah, the hoops, the bureaucracy, it's insane to me. So the fact that there's people that were 190 years old and receiving checks for fucking 50 years, like, how does that happen unless it's insider fraud?
Well, that doesn't bode well for what the Democrats are saying, Amber. If it in fact is true that they're finding this kind of shit, the Democrats are saying they're not finding it, they're making it up. What the hell is up with that?
Insider fraud from the Democrats?
It goes right along with the, what was it? 10 terabytes of data they deleted in the last few hours, but then were able to recover. I mean, we've had very, very mindless button pushers running things, thinking they're doing a great job. You know, you go up, you show to work, you do what you're told. The problem is there's so little checks and balances in the system once something's passed and it goes on to like.
So are they overwhelmed and they just say fuck it and just push this stuff through? Is that what they're doing?
Or they don't know about it. There's nobody checking.
What you're saying,
somebody in the know.
They can't pass audits.
What you're saying with the current climate in the bullshit Western media from MSNBS and these other CNN and stuff, would not go over well with some people who are convinced, and we talked about this in the green room, I've got friends that aren't listening to reason with good sourced information, you know. I don't know what to say anymore. And then they'll hear what Amber's saying or what Oz or what Chanda's saying, and then they'll think we're the enemy or something. We're not the enemy. We're just trying to be open and critical thinking and doing things, you know. We might say something nuancedly socially inappropriate, but don't pin us down on that. Holy crap. Amber and Chanda and I have always said we don't take any sides in this because we're all getting screwed. So we're just trying to root out the truth of the matter. And this is really something that would make some heads roll in some of our communities that we used to frequent all the time.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you say that? So I had a friend, and I won't say the name because you guys both know who she is. And I saw on her Facebook yesterday that she literally called the Social Security office to try to confirm, do you have to have an ID? Do you got to have this? Do you got to do that? You know, because there's so much misinformation about the changes that have happened to Social Security. And here's the changes that have actually happened. If you want to change your direct deposit, you have to be able to verify who you are online. Now, Social Security's got a couple of different ways to do that. There's a site called ID Me, which, verifies who you are to the federal government. Then you can log into Social Security or any of the federal sites, or, you know, there's a couple of different ways. You can get a passcode from them from going back and forth with Social Security. But basically, you don't have to go down to your Social Security office to make changes, to report changes, to even do things like, as long as you can do it online and you can verify who you are through one of their portholes, you're fine. They're talking about if you can't, that's when you have to go down to the Social Security office. That's basically the only thing that they changed. And Democrats are out there losing their fucking minds, making up all these lies that Social Security's changed this and you can't do that and you have to go. No. And now all of these call centers, which are already over flooded,
Oh
with
yeah.
people calling are now getting these stupid fucking Democrats calling there and bugging them about, did Trump do this? Did Trump do that?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just find
Well,
it asinine.
the problem I have with that, Shanda, and I'm not pushing back on you two because you know this is
No,
a
you
problem.
can. I don't care.
Most of the, there's nothing to push back on. It just sounds like it. This is an assault on senior citizens, people who
It
don't
is.
have the ability
Access to online.
to even, like the little old guy that's 80 years old. He doesn't even know what a computer is. So this is
No, you're not
increasing
wrong.
the demand for advocates for the elderly, the boomers. I'm one of them. If I didn't have my shit straight, I wouldn't be able to pursue what I'm trying to pursue now to save my economic life. But it's incredible. But don't you both think that needing an advocate is going to bring more criminals into the fold that are going to take advantage of these old people?
Oh my God.
And
You hit the nail on the head. Let me tell you a story. And this is a true story from what happened in my little community. I don't know if you heard this story, Amber. These scammers from the Ukraine scammed an old person up here on the Olympic Peninsula in Squim just this last month. They called them and told them they were a part of the Federal Trade Commission and that they were going to go to prison if they didn't start giving them money. And they set up this elaborate ruse where this old person was pulling $40,000 and $50,000 out of their bank and putting it in a box and meeting them at the local Walgreens and handing it over to them. And it was only after they pulled $125,000 total out of their bank account that our local bank teller caught it and said, I think you're being scammed. Who are you giving all this money to? And they set up a sting and they caught him. But I mean, this older person was so convinced they were going to go to prison, they were handing over $50,000 at a time to people pulling up in a Toyota Corolla that didn't even speak English, who did not look like agents of any form. Like, I was just mind blown when this story broke. And of course, our local prosecutor, instead of just turning them over to ICE and sending them back to Ukraine, no, they're going to prosecute them because it's an election year and he wants his face all over the front pages of the local paper.
So
yeah.
it's criminals taking advantage of
Yes.
other situations where criminals are screwing with the elderly. Like I told you before, there are so many assaults going on the elderly right now. The elderly and the infirm are less. I'm not even going to. But other communities are being attacked because of these policies. So at the same time, and you bring up points that their Doge is getting rid of some of the bad shit, they're creating more problems for the older people. So what is the solution to this, in your opinion, you guys? Amber?
It's right behind us. Because those who survive the next few years are going to be batteries in fucking Greenland.
So we're going to the Matrix.
Yeah.
Is that why we're buying Greenland? Is that why Trump is so hell bent on getting
Well,
Greenland? Because we're getting Greenland.
We'll have to mine it first, and then we'll have a big, nice cavern. Super cool.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want the top. He wants what's underneath it, right?
This is the Matrix. Okay, so explain this to me. How are we becoming batteries in Greenland?
Well, I did a whole show on it, I don't know, a year and a half ago or so, on the human battery commerce.
I remember it. Yeah.
It's a whole industry, subset industry of, science, energy, tech, and basically being able to harvest the energy of humanity is quite a thing. And it's, being mainstreamed and funded by NGOs and private investors as the future. So that's my good news for you, Oz, is they don't want the elderly to survive. They don't want anybody who can't make it. And those who do make it, you get this. And, I'm okay with what Elon Musk is doing right now. I'm happy to say that. It had to happen. It needed to happen 40 fucking years ago. He's just confirming all the shit we suspected and we didn't have hard proof of it. We've talked about so much of the fraud of USAID funding and, just all these different hush money, slush fund, private little pieces here and there. We've been doing 6-month budgets for how long? How many fucking years?
Well,
Now we're not going to be able to pay the interest. We're going to be owned by foreign countries that we're now somehow
We already
charging
are.
Well,
tariffs
yeah.
or-
Two things I see in this image. I see. Is there a way that you can see what I'm seeing here when I say I'm looking at 15-minute cities behind you? That's you get my point. That's
But this will be run by the battery people. This won't. No, there'll be like 2 people actually alive in this scenario, like chilling.
Well,
I-
Georgia Guidestones, there's got to be less than,
yeah.
what was it, 300 million people on the earth or some shit?
But Amber, don't you think that for every one thing that Elon Musk may be doing that's good, doesn't that open an opportunity for multiple things to be done bad?
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm terrified of. Like, I'm thrilled he's ripping it down. This shit needed to go a long time ago. We can't afford it. We've been funding shit around the world that just is insane and destroying what's happening at home. Everything we do abroad, we bring back home.
It
And
feels
that's why
like
we don't have health care. That's why they don't give a shit
they're
about
bleeding us
saving
dry at
it.
home to fund all their adventures everywhere else, and at the top of that list are wars.
Yeah.
So,
But come on, let's face it. The money that they're saving, finding all this money, they're not giving it to us. Musk is not out here saving us.
No.
He's going to give it to himself so he can go play on fucking Mars and make his totalitarian state up there. I mean, I don't see Musk as the hero. That's sure.
The second part of this. I do think he's the only one who could have pulled this shit off. What I'm terrified of is what gets built in its place.
Well,
what gets held in its place is fucking terrifying.
I understand he's stepping down on April 30th. I'll believe it when I see it.
I thought that was an April Fool's joke when I saw it yesterday. I didn't know.
No,
You can't believe anything on the internet as it is.
First. He said it last Friday, or
did he? Okay.
Friday.
Do you believe him?
Yeah. He didn't intend to do this full time or anything. But
yeah, I could see that.
That
he's flying too close to the sun.
Shit to do.
Yeah, the longer he stays out in front of this, the more hits he's taking. It's fucking up Tesla bad. Like, he knows that he's got to get out from in front of the media machine. So I could see him stepping back.
Amber, did you bring these chemtrails, or is that's one of Shanda's favorite stories that behind us?
Yeah,
I do a chemtrail story every show.
we had some. RFK is doing a couple good things, and we're really we created a chemtrails task force now as of today. And we also, like, Mike Adams and Dr. Jane Ruby put out a huge video. Yeah, I think it was yesterday or today, talking about some of the samples that's happening in Florida, and our brother Pasta's down there. And I was like, this might be impacting you heavily right now and your health. And you know what? Is there 14 different states that are trying to ban chemtrails? And then the other states are just still pretending people talking about them are fucking crazy. Yeah. But it's happening. It's government funded. It's being shut down with a lot of the shit that Doge is doing, honestly.
Oh.
And on the next slide, we can see what happened. They had a 17-0 vote in Florida and banned it today. So that's why they're hitting them hard now. So, it's the first state in history, which is pretty fucking
awesome. Yay. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought this, because I didn't even see that. The other day, what was it, last Wednesday, we had this record storm coming in with tornadoes. The Pacific Northwest doesn't get tornadoes, but the day before was absolutely gorgeous. I sent you a message. I was like, it's clear skies, beautiful. I went grocery shopping. I came out of the store. I looked up. There was 15 fucking chemtrails. X marks the spot. They were just going fucking bananas up there. And of course, I live on the West Coast, which will push east to Seattle. So I could see them building that storm that they were forecasting for the next day, literally right over our heads.
Yep. And this is for CFR little talk from the CIA director a few years ago.
No, this guy's charming.
Oh yeah, this was good. I think I brought this.
He's super entertaining. Enjoy. Kids.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat
in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly.
We think
As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would
Chump
also
change.
raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other geoengineering.
That means fuck it, do it anyway.
Well, and this is a big deal. I mean, we don't see it so much here in the United States, but if you go and you look in the Middle East, like the way the rivers have been dammed up there, it's a big fucking deal when they chemtrail in one area and still the rain because the water is not trickling downstream to the other countries. And so, this is a global weapon, and that's, why weather modification has been such a big deal for them to research, and we have been doing it since the turn of the 19th century. Like, people want to think that this is something new. This is not anything new. We were doing this World War II. We were doing it in Vietnam. We've been doing it
back
for
in the early 1900s. They were doing
Tesla was freaking studying it. Like, it's been around for a long time.
Have they finally proven these to be pseudo not work?
Oh, I have a whole drawer full of those in my bathroom.
Well, this is more about Washington State. I brought a few slides here. Washington State's having a bit of a budget woo-woo at the moment, and part of what they have continued, like, they basically, right as Ferguson came in, like right at election time, everything was frozen. Budgets are frozen, hiring's frozen, everything except essential emergency services, such as, the health department. And so they were able to continue hiring these people. They have taken the HHS services and COVID funds and tried to turn them into their general budget. One-time funding has now tried to become permanent. And, Inslee pretty much bankrupted Washington. And now Ferguson's inheriting a hot fucking mess and trying to fix it. And so this slide and the next one are just talking about the insane amount of fraud and waste and what those dollars were meant for. 20 million in funding was rescinded, and they're just like, no. 46 full-time employees across the state. How many shots are they giving? What are they actually doing?
Every time I go to the pharmacy, you're on Apple. Oh, well, here's 15 COVID tests free from your state. Well, that's not free. Some company is getting federal funding for that, getting
get that free
funding.
shit out of your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anytime it's a scam, somebody's getting rich off that shit.
Well, didn't they? Is this part of them discontinuing that Grays Harbor immunization van service today?
Mm-hmm.
You saw that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah. So, we're
so,
doing that.
just more chicanery, and, there's so many reports now, and countries, Japan's about to all out stop all of it at this rate. And, hopefully we'll get some answers. It's going to take a bit, but I'm hopeful that.
Well, they're working hard on taking RFK Jr. out of the equation. That's what this big sexting scandal is all about. And the fact that they're bringing Candace Owen in to kind of lead it, because she's a darling of the right. And so if they get her on board, well, then that'll help, that'll bring the right on board. So Big Pharma is working hard to get him. Yeah, Big Pharma's working hard to get rid of him. And as much as I hate his Zionist ass licking, and I've always found it suspicious that, he was the anti-war candidate, and then all of the sudden he's out there doing the freaking tours with Shmuley and, just being a Zionist flag waver. Yeah, I mean, he's admitted that he had a sex problem for a long fucking time ago. Do we really care? Nobody cared when it was Bill Clinton when he was in the White House. So I see him actually doing some policies that are helping the American people, and
well, the
that
glyphosate
includes
thing, that's
glyphosate.
Where the hell's the fluoride out of the water, though?
Vaccinations, fluoride.
When are they going to do the fluoride
I don't care who he shuck his dick at or who he sent pictures to. Short of SA, shut the fuck up about it. I don't care. That's where I'm at.
I can't. He's flipped. So,
well, I think he's flipped because he's been, compromised, and I think this is the compromise. And I don't think it's a big deal to most people, except for that he didn't do what he needed to for whatever reason. But we've got Jay Bhattacharya now in HHS.
Well, that's a good thing.
We've gotten, I could name off probably a dozen good things that have followed in that wake. It's going to take some time.
Yeah. Well, this is another thing. People are going to come in and hear us talking like this and thinking that we're Trumpers. We're not Trumpers.
We're not Trumpers.
We're just trying to get the facts out there, and I wish we would do that more with our neighbors more often. Because just because you're against something, it's not red team, blue team, everybody. We need to chuck both those teams and start talking like we're talking here about the issues and get the sourced information that is factual and not the propaganda that's been controlled by one media company or another, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, or any of these assholes. You have to use your critical thinking skills, which brings me to, I brought a story tonight, guys, and you know what that story is. Were you done with this topic? Should I go to my story?
Yeah, go to your story.
It relates. To me, it relates. Yeah. About healthcare.
Yeah. This is my story. Cory Booker joins Senate Republicans to kill measure to import cheaper medicine from Canada. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? How many times does this happen? And the don't say Republicans. The Democrats were the ones that started this bullshit way back in the early 2000s. Am I not correct? Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah, it was the Democrats, because you're taking away that. Now with that, I'm gonna come a little side eye at the use of AI. I have integrated an AI Oz, which isn't so creepy of an AI Oz as we've had in the past, and I can do this with you. But I want your opinion on this. Now, the reason I do these things is I can't see the screen half the time, and I'm not the greatest reader in the world, but this is pretty good. But I want you guys to test this out and see what you think. And this is about
for the record,
story.
all AI Oz's are creepy, but I will give you my true opinion on this one.
Okay, this is a new one. And, of course, Bernie Sanders introduced a symbolic bill that will never pass, but check out AI Oz here.
Bernie Sanders introduced a very simple symbolic amendment Wednesday night, urging the federal government to allow Americans to purchase pharmaceutical drugs from Canada, where they are considerably cheaper. Such unrestricted drug importation is currently prohibited by law. The policy has widespread support among Americans. One Kaiser poll taken in 2015 found that 72% of Americans are in favor of allowing for importation. President-elect Donald Trump also campaigned on a promise to allow for importation. The Senate voted down the amendment 5246, with 2 senators not voting. Unusually, the vote was not purely along party lines.
Oh, kill your Gregos. Yeah, it's creepy, Oz.
I think the chat has voted. It's still creepy.
Okay, well, it's getting
But no, that was pretty
better.
awesome. Why don't we just do the shows like that from now on?
We don't want to dehumanize our show quite yet. They're going to do that for us soon enough. Here are some of the reasons, the bullshit reasons, that your congressional reps are going to give you, which is bullshit. It was bullshit back then, and it's bullshit now. Pharmaceutical industry lobbying experts. Was that experts? exerts a significant influence through campaign contributions and advocacy efforts to protect domestic pricing models. I would say that's number one, wouldn't you? I mean, they want to keep the cash cow of pharmaceuticals coming in. And this is another reason why JFK Jr. is in the hot seat with these guys. And I'm surprised he's still around, frankly, because he's trying to get the commercials taken off, which is a big deal as far as income for not only media, but the pockets of the insider traders like Nancy Pelosi and all the Republicans that do it too. I don't think there's a handful of people in our Congress that don't do insider trainings. Now, the second point is safety concerns cited regarding FDA's inability to guarantee the quality and the legitimacy
Out
of
of
the
Canada,
medication.
come on.
Canada does their own, and
those nice people.
Canada's an asshole about that. So I would defer to them.
I
and
mean,
that
they're
was
scared of Mexican meds, which
Yeah,
I'll take those any day of the week. So
Yeah.
whatever.
And then they throw this bullshit supply issues could arise if Canadian pharmacies become overwhelmed by U.S. demand. Are
We
you
have
fucking
supply
kidding
issues
me?
already. I have been trying to track down morphine for 6 fucking months. I have to go from pharmacy to pharmacy to get my pain medications.
And trade agreement complications could emerge as pharmaceutical provisions in the agreement, like the USMCA, may restrict cross-border medication purchase. Fuck off. If you got a medication you can get in Canada and a lot cheaper and accessible,
Yeah.
and if you don't get it, you're going to die, what are you going to do? I'm telling them to fuck off. Economic arguments suggest potential job losses in the U.S. the pharmaceutical sector. Spending shifts to Canadian sources. These are all hollow arguments. And not only do they, or could they, or they make them apply to pharmaceuticals, but what else can they apply to, guys? Plenty of things. It's just the same old song and dance. And Cory Booker's an asshole. He's not Mr. Smith. He spent 20 hours on the floor of Congress. Longest speech in history the other day. Who gives a fuck? The guy has never done anything for the people he is supposed to be representing, in my not so humble opinion. I hate to be like that, but I actually don't give a shit personally. But that's...
Well, it's just a scam to get everybody's retirement money because everybody's on a Medicare Part D, and then you have to have a supplemental insurance to cover your prescriptions, and so you're paying out thousands and thousands of dollars for meds that are only fucking $50 over in Canada. You know, I live it every day with the amount of meds that I'm on right now.
It's insane. I brought this little meme that James, the good vibe politic. I need everyone to understand that these are essentially the same event. Does that look familiar to you? Him standing up in Congress and
they are exactly the same event.
The same event. And I'm going to tell you again, we are going to tell you again, if you are a progressive, the road for you, for your movement inside the Democratic Party leads to a graveyard. And that's Shama Sawant said that.
I'm going to preface any party.
Any party. Any party.
Dance party.
Any party. It's
I agree.
The best thing we can do right now, and I will add a cautionary tale to this too, and it has to do with the tariffs as well. The best thing we can do is to pitch these goddamn parties and start talking to your neighbors, your friends, your family, the people. The 1% does not give a shit about anything. I'm preaching to the choir, all of you wonderful people in the chat. You've heard me say it before. But now we're going into, this is tariff day for Donnie. He's all happy. Which is
tariffs
gonna,
for the world.
Yeah, so let me ask you two. Now, these tariffs, could they possibly lead to price hikes that never come back down?
Absolutely. That's the plan.
Gee, you know, that happens when you have a trade war. That happens when you have a war.
Trade war.
Yeah, I mean, that happens when we're at economic war. This is, I'm going to go back to Greenland and pick a cozy rock to snuggle up to, because the whole point is to, kill the trade. I mean, look at all these fucking battery fires. That Moss Landing fire that happened in California made such a fucking mess. The lead and toxin levels around there in Salinas I mean, literally the fucking breadbasket of what is California? A fifth of the world's economy. All of the
Fourth or
West Coast
fifth.
produce for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's toxic shit, and it's fucking artichoke season. I'm pissed.
Yeah, and
Artichokes grow good up here. You just got to get them started.
not to mention the cost of groceries, the cost of goods.
Yeah,
They're not coming down. They are not going to come down. We went through this disaster, right? We were COVID, and everybody thinks that prices are going to come down after. Oh, it's just inflation. They're not coming down.
They're not even stabilizing or leveling off. They're still bouncing like a rubber ball. Now, have either one of you bought a car battery lately?
Oh, I needed to, and I looked at them. They were like $300. I was like,
$300. They went from, and there's, for the reasons Amber just said here, plus the EPA guidelines. They couldn't follow those properly, and I call bullshit on that. You don't have to artificially increase the price of a battery and blame the guidelines. There's got to be ways to make that happen. But I used to pay $70 for a new car battery. Then it went to 120, and I'm starting to smart. But I just went and looked for this car that we have. It's a 2019. I will never have another car. It was $365.
Check Costco. Costco had the best price when I was looking like 6 months ago.
Well, no, I got an interstate battery, and the nice thing is, I didn't have to pay for it. You know why I didn't have to pay for it? Because it was still under warranty from the last place I paid.
Oh, that's good.
But that speaks to the quality of the batteries too. So we can't look at price increases and inflation from a surface level standpoint. You can't do it because there are so many things coming at us from different directions. Criminalities, insider trading, the representation that's not representation for the people. It's representation of the best interests of those people that you in earnest voted for, expecting something good to come from voting them in the government. And I'll finish by saying, fuck that. Start talking to your neighbors and get people involved that represent you, not the millionaire class or not those that want to become millionaires by getting into government, because that's
that starts at your local level, right?
Local level.
To know the people that are running. So can I tell you, this isn't on a separate note, it relates, but okay, so I live on the Olympic Peninsula. We have the Olympic rainforest. We're known for some of the world's biggest old growth especially in the country, right? Most of the old growth has been cut down, and what old growth is on the Olympic Peninsula was federally protected on federal land. Since Trump got elected, now in the last 15 years, we've seen almost every mill that we had on the Olympic Peninsula shut down or be bought out by companies in China and Japan. And most of our pecker poles, because that's all they were cutting down, are being shipped overseas, and then they get sent back as pallets or whatever. Since Trump got elected, I have seen more second generation and old growth leaving the peninsula than I have ever seen in my entire life. And I grew up in the woods. I grew up with, the big timber companies. That's who fucking employed our families and our family, our parents and our grandparents. So to see truck after truck after truck of old growth and second growth leaving the peninsula, I have to, deep down in my gut, I know that our natural resources have begun being completely raped.
Kate
and that
says,
is a part of the cutting down of, all of our Forest Service workers and how they've just they've gone for the resources. And now Whitney Webb has been warning us about this for fucking years. Like, they're coming for the natural resources, that your national parks and but it's shocking. I got to tell you, Amber, it is fucking shocking the amount of trucks that we see in the last 3 months leaving the Olympic Peninsula with the old growth.
Kate says, Beauty and the
blows my
Boomer,
mind.
the old growth is being attacked by the forestry industry.
Yes,
and I know this is close to Kate's heart.
And Kate's working hard on it, and I appreciate that, because I fight for the trees, and I know that you fight for the trees, and I love that. And it's been heartbreaking to every day just watch fucking log. I mean, for one thing, I'm happy because I know that's industry and that's local people that are being employed, like somebody's working to cut those trees down. But these are trees
double-edged sword
that are not being replaced, and they're not going to grow back fast enough for the next generations to have sustainable, renewable resources from these trees. And it's heartbreaking. It's just,
They're ripping the heart out of the country for profit. And they're doing it in Canada, Kate.
I'm
They're
so
doing
proud
it
of you for
all over-
occupying.
Yes.
Kate, I got to tell you.
Keep doing it.
So proud of you for
Who brought
occupying.
this story? Who brought the breaking news here?
I did. Walmart employees are going to start wearing body cams.
Oh,
What?
perfect.
What?
Yeah. Check it out.
Okay. Oh, this is nuts.
Now at 10:30, Walmart employees will soon be wearing body cameras in what the nation's largest retailer calls a new security measure to protect shoppers and employees.
Walmart isn't the only retailer to implement body-worn cameras.
Now Walmart has decided to try it out, body cameras on their employees. So what do customers think? Walmart employees wearing body cameras.
I think it's a little bizarre. I don't want someone to just follow me with a camera while I'm getting groceries.
Walmart already is testing the technology at stores in Texas, and soon SoCal Walmart workers could be wearing them too. The nation's largest retailer says it's not just to deter shoplifters. It's also to keep their employees safe from increasingly aggressive customers. Shoppers we talked with tonight in Burbank have mixed reviews, but agreed if employees in blue vest are wearing cameras, it might just encourage customers to stay off the naughty list.
Hey, 1984, Amber, I know you just can't wait to say something about this.
Yeah, I've noticed that at my local Home Depot also. They've replaced all the cashiers, and they just have a row of, self-checkout with cameras that record you the entire time. And you can't fucking
you
get
look
away
up
from
and
it.
see yourself, and you're like, oh shit, like I don't want to see myself. Like, I know, I hate those damn things. The biggest thing for me is when I go into Walmart now, there's so many Walmart shoppers, meaning Walmart employees that are shopping for online purchases with their stupid fucking carts, that it's hard to even get around the store because you're dodging those fucking people who put online purchases in, and they don't give a shit. They're constantly in your way. Like, you can't get down an aisle. It's fucking frustrating. I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I just put an online fucking order in? Why am I here physically in person? And that's ultimately where we're going. That's what they want. Don't come to the
There's
store.
going to be more and more.
We'll bring it
I
to
noticed
you.
that the other day. Same problem. I couldn't get by.
Yeah.
I couldn't get by. And I just turned around and said, fuck it. So,
Just stay in your hoverbound, order off the app. The machine will bring it via drone. What the fuck do you have to worry about? It's only going to be like $400 per bag of groceries instead of $2 or $1. I've gotten that about the average. I used to pride myself that shopping was under, like, I could shop for $10 a bag of organic food.
Oh, dream
Right.
on.
Now it's $100.
Yeah.
$100. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I know.
And if you actually go into a Walmart and you look at the section that's organic, it's one little fucking, fridge thing display. And those are the 9,000s, that are clean, that you can wash the pesticides off of. And the entire rest of the store is nothing but fucking poison. Like, you cannot get good food in America unless you are buying it from your neighbors or you are going out to some fucking farm to get it. That's the only way you're not getting poison in America. I don't care where you're shopping.
Yeah.
And the
Especially
sad part is
Costco.
that at Walmart, it's all like shriveled and old because everybody just
their
assumes
food's
it's
their shit's so bad.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
Gross Out. Gross Out has better deals and a lot
I wish
more.
we had
organic
those
options.
up here. We are so limited. We have Safeway or Walmart. Those are our choices. Or QFC, which is too expensive, or Costco.
My local Fred Meyer just arrested 17 people. Yes, like I think last night or the day before, in a little sting they were doing because they've had so much theft. So much.
Yeah.
We got a Winco opening up Monday here.
Oh, you're so lucky.
They have not had any new business grocery store wise. They've been closing them here. They closed Big Bird and everything else, but a Winco moved in, and Joey and I are saying, thank the
What's
gods.
this
we
Alda?
don't have, we
I
don't
want
have
an
to.
Alda.
Aldi's great.
Yeah.
They're in
Is
the
that
Midwest.
east? Is that east? Is that
I don't
east?
know, but I want one.
Yeah.
But looking at the prices, I want one. That's all I know. Like,
Well,
damn.
just
I
to
know-
have
I know
something.
Josh likes shopping at the Aldi.
something
Yeah.
besides Walmart to shop at, and
Oh,
Safeway.
that's all we have up here.
Safeway is top dollar for really quality
Mm-hmm.
stuff still, produce and meat, but holy crap.
I can't
I can
afford it.
barely fade it. I can't afford it. It's nuts.
I can have 2 nights dinner if I shop at Walmart, or you can have 1 night's dinner if I shop at Safeway.
That's
I mean,
pretty
and
much the ratio.
Sometimes it's more convenient to go to Safeway, and I know I'm going to get better products, but I'm like, fuck, I can't afford that. I have to go buy the lesser fucking quality of food.
Dr. Nick, make Piggly Wiggly great again.
I missed the Piggly Wiggly. I loved the Piggly Wiggly. I live down south. Yes, I do a lot of shopping at grocery outlet, but your quality there, you're getting stuff that's close to being on its pull date, and
Yeah, it is. It's
you do get some
questionable.
good deals at grocery outlet.
So, Chanda, you're going to talk about. Go ahead.
I was going to say one last plug: shop at Azure Standard. If you can save up a little bit and buy some bulk, at least you can start with
Buy the bulk, yeah.
beans, rice, basics.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And then like a case of coconut milk, or something fancy that you can make throughout the day, beans or stuff. Just basic staples.
We've added
fruit.
We've added watercress into our garden, so now we're doing
Yeah,
that.
watercress is so blah.
Well, it's pretty great in salad and soup.
I'm sorry, eating healthy sucks. I'm an American. I grew up on fucking Doritos and cheeseburgers. I mean, I will eat healthy. I like a good salad, but it better have blue cheese and steak on it. But
So, Chanda, you brought this accident that happened to Virginia.
Yeah, this is just weird. Now, don't you guys just find this whole fucking situation shady as shit? So, Virginia Giuffre, which you guys know I've talked a lot about her. She was one of the very first and most outspoken victims of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's trafficking. Of course, she was allegedly trafficked to Prince Andrew. She came out 2 days ago, on the 31st, and said that this year has been the worst year ever. But I won't bore you anymore with that. I have the important to note that a school bus driving came through and hit her at 110 kilometers as they were trying to turn, and that she was going into kidney failure, and that the doctors had only gave her 4 days to live. They were transferring her to a specialist hospital for urology, and that she is ready to go. She just wants to see her babies one more time. Now,
this real?
I just find this whole story weird. Okay, so if a bus is doing 60 or 70 miles an hour and they hit somebody, this is in Australia, there's going to be a report somewhere about it. A news reporter is going to get out there on the scene. It's a school bus that supposedly has kids on it. A very, infamous person is involved in the wreck, and there's no report about it from the police, from anybody.
This is shady.
Now, there's no hospital that's reporting to have her. So, the internet sleuths have been out there. Of course, there she is when she's young.
USA Today and France 24 have some articles out there.
Yeah, all the articles that I've read they just reiterate what she posted. Now, if you're going to die in 4 days of renal failure, okay, you might be well enough to sit up in your bed and do a text. But I mean, is this really something that, it just seems weird that she texted out herself that she's dying. Remember, she got a huge payout from Prince Andrew and the crown, right? So could she possibly be trying to ride off into the sunset like Epstein and I'm dead and go live her life somewhere else? I mean, I don't go back and look at that.
Sounds like a deliberate hit to me. I don't know.
Or is it a deliberate hit? Yeah. And why is there no information about it? Is the crown doing like a Princess Di thing where they're trying to sweep it under the rug? Is why nobody's heard about it. So here's just a little report from the local police, and they say it was a minor accident with less than $2,000 worth of damage done to the vehicle.
Oh shit.
Does that make
Police
sense?
in Australia appear to have disputed a claim made by Prince Andrew's accuser, Virginia Giuffre, that she was involved in a serious crash which has left her with just days to live. The 41-year-old, who previously alleged that the Duke of York had sexually assaulted her when she was a teenager, wrote on Instagram yesterday that her car had collided with a school bus. Well, Lady Pitt is here. There are some conflicting details in this, aren't there?
Yes, it's a bit confusing, Mary, because in her post online, Virginia Giuffre said that she's gone into kidney renal failure and is being transferred to a specialist urology hospital. And she's posted a photo where she appears to be in a hospital bed and has quite severe bruising to her face. She goes on to say that she has 4 days to live after a crash with the school bus near to her home in Perth in Australia. Now, Western Australia police explain they know of a minor crash between a school bus and a car that was reported by the bus driver the following day, but there were no reported injuries to them as a result of the crash. Here's what the officers have said.
I do know there was an accident on the 24th of March. It was a bus with another vehicle.
The 24th of March?
Any passengers on the bus?
That would have been 5 days ago. She'd already be dead.
On the bus, but certainly the bus driver reported it as he was required to do and in the right time frames. And I'm advised it was about $2,000 damage in the vehicle. Not aware of any injuries.
Now, separately, a spokesperson for the East
Somebody's
Metropolitan
lying.
Health
Something's
Service
wrong
has
with
told
this
Australian
story.
media that
I don't
Ms.
know
Giuffre
what
is not
side
at any of
is
their facilities.
fucking lying, but-
Virginia Giuffre sued Prince Andrew with allegations of sexually assaulting
You
her
got the
when she
gist
was
of what we
17
needed
years
there.
old.
Yeah, no, that
we
was...
don't need the background. But I'm sorry. I'm just not buying this story from either they're trying to cover it up and they tried to take her out. But why did they wait till now to take her out? Is it because they're getting ready to release some of the Epstein stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, she was the only one still alive because all of the rest of them from Palm Beach.
Well, Maria Farmer's still alive, but I don't know. There's something hanky about that story. It's just,
yeah.
If she got hit on the 24th and she'll have days to live, why was she posting it on the 31st? Like, there's no other pictures. There's not a lot of information from her family. I mean, her family literally found out online too, and they made a comment. Like, it just, the whole thing seems weird.
It's sounds hanky. It sounds hanky.
Yeah.
What is
so I'll keep an eye on it. I just think it's crazy.
What is this banner behind us?
Stand for freedom.
Just a reminder, do everything you possibly can to avoid the Real ID National ID program. That's a reminder from Stand for Health Freedom and the other health freedom groups. Like, this is a slippery slope. This is not going to help any of the problems people are concerned about, including illegal immigration. It's only a way to usher us into digital track and trace. So just please avoid anything you can.
Okay, that's a good.
Keep a passport. Keep it in a Faraday cage or a, lined item.
I've got mine. It's not lined though. I'll put it in some tinfoil.
Yesterday was April Fool's Day, and it was canceled. And why? Because no made-up joke or prank can touch the unbelievable Twilight Zone level of insanity going on in the world today. Enjoy the rest of your week. That was Oz PSA that he put on his Facebook page. Yep. Now, I did that knowing that they're trying to get Iran to jump into a nuclear war. And they're serious about it. Now, Amber, isn't this their agenda to mass depopulate the earth? Is that an issue that's going on these days?
Oh, eugenics? No.
Psychopaths trying to track, trace, and destroy everyone? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, just checking. I mean,
April Fools.
I try.
Now, okay, here's my question for you. Is Elon pro eugenics or against eugenics? Now, we know he's single-handedly repopulating the planet himself, but does he think the rest of us are useless leaders and his smart little offsprings are the only ones who deserve to be here?
I don't know. He fired his movie producer Monday, Jennifer Salke, so maybe he's getting tired of the bullshit.
I don't think he's a eugenicist.
You don't? Because normally at that level they all are, right?
Yeah,
he's the one who keeps saying that we won't have enough people on the earth, right? He keeps saying that, we're headed for a global population crash.
It is a serious problem too.
But AI is
rest
going to
of
replace all of our jobs in the next 10 years. So we've got these AI agents. You need to do a show on AI agents, Amber.
I've been following it. Yeah, I have been.
Yeah, the AI agents. We're all going to have AI agents in the next 10 years, and smartphones will be a thing of the past. You will have either glasses or a contact that will have your AI agent that will follow you around and do everything you need.
Yeah, who needs an advocate when you can have an AI agent?
I mean, I already use Microsoft products at work. What do you mean? I already have one.
We've had it for how many years now? 1995.
Hey, Microsoft turned 50 years old yesterday. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake.
Squirt some ketchup at the drive-in.
Oh, not this chick. Oh my God. Brandy. Brandy has been my worst fucking arch enemy for years, man. I let her have it at the Tacoma Dome, man. I can't stand her. I know.
And that's not why I brought her. I brought her for Amber.
I'm just telling you, I can't stand
Brought
this
her
reporter.
for Amber. Brought her for Amber, and I'm going to play like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this, and I'll speed it up.
She's the worst.
But Amber, your job here is to point out where she is incorrect, okay?
Okay.
Oh, she's incorrect about everything.
Right now, our property tax increases are capped at 1% a year. That's the most they can go up without a vote of the people. And that was something that voters passed via initiative 20-something years ago. So it's something voters wanted. Hey, you can't just raise our property taxes at will without asking our permission.
Correct.
So the law that they're now trying to pass is to lift that cap without any limit. Basically, they're going to tie property tax increases to population growth and the rate of inflation. So you could have 8, 9, 10% property tax increases every year, and the impact of that is going to be obvious. So they can pay for things like laser hair removal for transgender inmates, but I digress. So the impact of that is going to be obvious. I mean, there are already people who are having a hard time living here. It's become very unaffordable because of all these things Democrats pass, even though they want to blame it on other stuff. So this is going to hurt the elderly, it's going to hurt the low income, and it's going to make home ownership completely unattainable. So I couldn't help but notice there's 43,000 people who took the time to sign in pro or con, with, of course, the vast majority of them signing in opposed to this property tax increase. So then the Democrats allow testimony from the public, and of course they control basically who gets to testify. So even though this is like a 90-something% issue, they kind of split it equally. So you hear from people who are in support of it and people who are opposed to it. It became very obvious when watching this testimony where that division was. Regular, hardworking people were the ones who were opposed to it. And the ones who showed up in Olympia to testify in favor of hiking your property taxes without fail, these were the special interest groups who benefit from that money and politicians who have already come up with ways to spend it.
My name is John DeRoos, and I'm the Chief of Police for the Everett Police Department. I'm here today on behalf of the City of Everett testifying in support of Senate Bill 5798.
My name is Lisa Janicki. I'm a Skagit County Commissioner, and I'm here in support of 5798.
My name is Heidi Eisenhower, a County Commissioner from Jefferson County. I'm here today to support Senate Bill 5798.
My name is Aaron Yard, and I'm the Director of Policy and Advocacy at Building Changes. I'm submitting this testimony in support of 5798.
For the record, my name is Brian Rains, and I serve as the Chief Executive Officer for Rural Resources Community Action.
My name is Hunter George. I'm the Government Relations Officer for the Metropolitan Park District of Tacoma.
Thank you. My name is Brennan Blue, Fire Chief for the City of Vancouver.
Good evening. I'm Snohomish County Executive Dave Summers here in support of Senate Bill 5798.
I'm Julie Salvi with the Washington Education Association, testifying pro.
I'm the General Counsel with the Washington State Council of County and City Employees, AFSCME Council 2. I'm here today to say in pro.
My name is Kathleen Koch, and I am representing the City of Connell.
My name is Molly Gilbert, and I'm an investigator at the King County Department of Public Defense, and I am in strong support of Senate Bill 5798.
My name is John Thunheim. I'm the prosecuting attorney here in Thurston County.
I'm King County Sheriff Patty Cole-Tyndall, testifying in support of Senate Bill 5798 on behalf of King County and public safety.
Yeah. So
get the picture? Get the picture? Okay, Amber, let it rip. It's your story coming forward.
I hate to break it to you, Chanda. She's dead fucking on with this one.
I know she is on this one, but normally she irritates the shit out of me.
I spent my weekend texting the shit out of everybody, trying to realize what was happening because most people were completely unaware. And the only thing, I was going to say this earlier in the earlier segment, we were talking about groceries and prices of things, and the only thing that I see dropping is going to be property prices are going to start tanking because everybody's going to exodus out of Washington, but the affordability is going to change. because it's just, but all of this is just going to roll into it. And this is because all of the one-time COVID funding got adopted into these fucking places' budgets. They've hired all these people and they don't want to stop what they've been doing for the last 5 years, which is completely reckless, out of control. There's no funding for it. There's no fucking public support for it. And, you know, it's insulting. You know, we cannot keep pushing seniors out of their goddamn houses. You know, they don't all want to go into the shag down the street. You know, we need to support our rural communities. We need to support, you know, people who want to live the way they've been accustomed to living, and shoving everybody in the 15-minute city because that's all they can fucking afford, to be close to their doctor, to be close to buying their medications, to be close to getting their grocery delivery, ruins the fabric of this fucking country. And it pisses me off to no end. We've got to do something to stop it. But that's the only thing I see dropping. And the cost is just, you know, it's not going to bring the cost down. It's going to put people on the street. It's going to jack up rent.
It is. That's why I'm trying to get some help on my property tax, because it already went up $200 this year. $200 in 1 year. And if they take the cap off this shit, it could go up double. So,
it's going to be 2,000 easy.
You'll own nothing and you'll be happy about it.
Well,
I mean, that's where we're fucking headed.
Look what happened to Oregon. I mean, the property taxes in Oregon have been insane for the last 4 decades.
Yeah.
So you brought the Jim Walsh too, and we don't like Jim Walsh, but
yeah, not often I agree with Jim Walsh, but I happen to agree with him here too, that, you know, they passed this bill after midnight on April Fool's Day.
Yep.
Largest tax increase in state history.
And we're already one of the highest taxed in the fucking nation.
Yeah, capital gains. It's been 7% since 2001 has gone up.
Yeah.
And that's just that. That's not all the other taxes. We've been taxed to death. And local municipalities, am I correct, Amber? They add on top of that, don't they?
Oh, yeah. And this is what that 1% cap is going to eliminate. The county can jack it up 8%. They actually tried in Snohomish County to pass an 8% budget. They wanted a tax levy that was 8%. And we're like, no, you're stopped at 1%. So what did they do?
And they write these bills to where when you're voting on them, you don't know what you're actually voting for. I mean, even as an educated fucking voter, when I sit down and read these fucking levies when they put them on the ballots, the everyday voter, they word them to confuse you, so you're voting for it when you should be voting against it, and vice fucking versa on every single one of them. And, you know, we're so screwed in Washington State. I see us having to move. You know, they building affordable housing here locally. They've bulldozed all of the local fields out here, and they're building tiny houses right all next to each other, and they're all made of styrofoam. And you know they're going to sell these fuckers for $200,000-$300,000, and then throw a shit ton of taxes on each one of those little lots. And they're made of fucking styrofoam. Like I was floored when I saw that they were styrofoam on, you know, the structures going up.
But the good news is, Amber.
Yeah, good news is Bob Ferguson rejected the budget from both the House and the Senate. His reasoning of why, though, was very strange. You know, he obviously he's seeing the fucking mess that Inslee made and losing his shit. But we'll see where this goes. You know, the shitty part is the Republicans offered them a budget that was not an increase in any kind of taxes, and they rejected it and went for
the Democrats rejected it because Democrats have control in Washington State.
Yes, 100% control. So but the people are, you know, Bob's actually reading the room here and sees what the people want, but he's also like, it's not fair to the wealthy.
Well, you know, I've known Bob personally for a long fucking time. And, you know, out of all the politicians that I've fucking known, I have had faith in Bob over the years because he was a prosecutor. He was an attorney. He lived in a small community, you know. So I hope and I pray that deep down, just a little bit of that small hometown stays with him and he'll protect the grandmas and the poor people, like, please, Bob, don't fuck us over as bad as Inslee. That's all I can wish for at the end of the day.
Well, I brought in a comment that one of our chatters, one of our regulars, one of our wonderful supporters sent in on this particular issue. And I don't have permission to give the name, but you know who you are. And here's the message I sent to Deborah Entman. Is that Entman? Regarding SB 5798, we have the most punishing tax structure of any state in the union. I already have 2 months out of the year where between my property tax and my health insurance costs, I'm left with almost nothing to get through the month. And that's just 2 bills. I have lots more to pay on my fixed income. If you want to see an exodus out of this state, you're going to do a fine job encouraging people to leave if you unleash this bill upon us. Look at the income you're making on the marijuana tax and see if you can find a way to utilize those funds to pay for what you deem the people actually need, from what you deem the people actually need. I'll be watching to see whether you vote to place the burden of your supposed shortfalls on the average worker and taxpayer. Again, I thought that was so well articulated, and I appreciate this is one of our regular supporters, wonderful person, sent us a heating pad, and that was just terrific. Well done. So, nice. Amber, I know you want to.
And they're right about the marijuana, because that went into the general budget, the general fund. And, we never saw those billions of fucking dollars that we, the people, voted for in 2012 that we thought was going to help our local schools and our hospitals and our rural communities, to go to our infrastructure, to go to that. No, that's not what it went to. It's been allocated in building up a police state. It's been siphoned out to, all of these contractor friends that are building these mass fucking, complexes and shit around the state. Like right now we have a construction project that's going on the Olympic Peninsula where they're replacing every single culvert of every stream on the Olympic Peninsula to save the salmon. Now, let me tell you, the Native Americans have been on this Olympic Peninsula for hundreds of fucking years. And when they say the salmon never swam up those fucking streams, I believe them. And to see the fucking waste, I mean, millions and billions, we're probably talking billions. We're talking every culvert, and the whole entire Olympic Peninsula is nothing but will be micro islands when the big one hits, because of the amount of bridges that it takes to cross to get to where we live. So yeah, there's so much fucking waste going on, and it's all in climate change and save the fish, and all of us well-doers over the last 15-20 years wanting to do better for our environment, but not actually understanding what we've been voting for and what we're pushing
there's
through,
better ways,
which is lining the pockets of the rich.
Than throwing money at the rich to do it. Amber, you have last word on this topic. We're out of time.
Because I actually work in this world, not doing direct culvert cleanup, but very familiar with EPA work plans. This has to do with sediment. It has to do with leaching of the culverts themselves. They didn't have a shelf life that was long enough, so they are being replaced around the state and around the country. And not necessarily like that stream is a salmon stream, but the collective area is all the wastewater, stormwater, sewer management is basically what that is contributing to issues downstream and in the bays and estuaries where it all ends up. So I'm not opposed to it. It does seem crazy. What I hate is when either cities, federal funding, they don't have a good planning plan. If you're going to rip up the street, section A to B, do all the things you need to do for the next 20 years. And what's happening is we have such a fucking glut in our infrastructure. That was probably the only goddamn thing Biden did good, was he whoever was there knew we needed the infrastructure funding bill, because we're like $8 trillion behind in infrastructure spending in this country. We have a
Probably
huge
more.
fucking country that is on the brink of collapse, and especially rural and small communities face the brunt of that. They don't have the resources to be able to take on the debt to fix it.
Yeah.
And we can't keep spending on all this frivolous bullshit when our roads and bridges are about to collapse.
Our bridges are getting D's and F's across the country. I mean, how many have we seen fall out of the sky in the last 20 years? It's scary. Yeah.
They just pulled like 8 rail cars off of Amtrak because of rust.
Oh, our rail infrastructure is a fucking joke. Oz and I were talking about this on Saturday night. You look at even Canada. Canada's rail infrastructure is light years surpassing ours compared to where we are. It's just embarrassing.
We're the rotting corpse of the world as far as being here back in the 50s and where we're at now. So. Ladies, we are out of time, but we do want some announcements here. Chanda,
what's up, Heartlands Media?
You wanna announce this one?
No Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday night. It is Cold Fusion's birthday weekend, and I got some big plans in store for him. So I am taking the weekend off. It's just been a crazy week for me. It's spring break. The grandkids are out, trying to keep up with everybody. Plus, honestly, I feel like shit every day. But I am going to try to make it back for a Trailer Park Pundit on Monday. I'm going to come home and work my butt off on Sunday, and I will see you guys Monday morning. But yeah, we got to take Saturday night off so I can go play and have fun.
And Amber, you want to plug your show?
Yeah, we're doing a relaunch, Sans Rockfin of Brave New Future. So look for all the Roar Media channels and all the Roar Media places. And we got a lot of talk about. And I won't be on the tubes, but I'll be everywhere else where we can get nitty gritty and up and close. And we'll see what other of my shows make it back. I know some people really want to get back to the interview shows and technocratic panopticon. There's still a bunch of fucking chicanery and fuckery happening with the pandemic treaty is still trying to be passed.
Yes.
Hope you're following our good friend James Rogowski. They're trying to kill an entire ostrich farm up in BC because of the fake ass bird flu bullshit.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That was heartbreaking.
There's just
apparently Russia didn't have a bird flu because their eggs are only $1.39 and everything's fine.
I know, and the Amish don't have autism. It's just fucking magic.
Funny how that works. Wesley Donison will miss you too. We like we said before, we enjoy joining up with you guys on Saturday nights, and it really is. We do miss you. There's no day off for us. It's really.
It's just sad I'm canceling. I know, but I gotta do what I gotta do.
Here's the bright side of that. We've got it pretty much built, so all we have to do is get the stories in there.
Yeah.
And it should be a terrific show. And so we're gonna work extra hard so we bring a terrific show a week from Saturday, and hopefully Chanda and I both will be feeling better. As you know, we're doing the fight, and again, Chanda can use some help anytime that you can give her some, as can I once in a while.
My PayPal is what I'm using since I have had to switch over to Social Security for my insurance and everything. PayPal is the best way to help me out, and I have immunotherapy this coming week, so I'm going to do my best to make the shows, but it kind of knocks me down for a while when I do it.
Yeah, my energy level's been in the toilet personally, so I'm slowly think I'm coming back. I'm not as psychopathic as I was before, and I'll tell you about that the next time we do a show. I'll tell you what they found. They found a gene in me that my sister always thought I was an alien from another planet, and this is kind of proof that I may just be from another planet. Amber, Chanda, thank you so much, and it's wonderful to see you again, Amber, and I'm looking to seeing more of you as we move forward and get healthier.
Agree.
We have we got a short outro. Last word to you two ladies.
Hope to see you on Tuesday, Brave New Future, making a comeback. It's a week of comebacks, so I'll be working my tail off to get that ready for you, and up in the mountains Monday and Tuesday, and ready for you Tuesday night. So looking forward to it, and yeah, just good to be back in the saddle with you guys. Missed you guys tons.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Any support you can throw to the nonprofit would be appreciated. We've got we've got continued chicanery with funding sources now that Rockfin is no longer. They've officially canceled us. So you know, always looking for more platforms and new free speech places to share the shows, and hope you guys are all starting your garden. I know I got my sunflowers in the ground today.
I didn't get mine started yet. I got to go grab some more dirt at Walmart, and I was too tired this afternoon. But it's been a hard fight for me because I can't overdo it. I get out there and I want to go, but then I hurt so bad I can't move for a couple of days if I go too hard. So I'm just slowly getting at it. But yeah, I'm getting my garden in the ground. That was my one goal for this year.
I think that sounds like a good project for the grandkids to help you with.
Yeah.
Yes, I got the youngest coming tomorrow.
With a cup of tea and help direct them.
Sounds like a plan, guys. And I don't know about you, but I feel a storm. Trailer Park Pundit, and next Tuesday for Brave New Future. Good night, guys. Hope you like the outro.
Night.
Storm out, waiting for the thaw out on the full moon night in the Rocky Mountain winter. One bottle slow, watching for the snow and thinking about what I've been missing in the city. And I'm not missing a thing. Watching the full moon crossing the ring, right in the storm out, right in the storm out, right in the storm out, right in the storm out. Lady beside me, she's been there to guide me. Says that alone we finally found our home. Oh, the wind outside is frightening, but it's kinder than the lightning life in the sea. All alive to live, but you give back what you get. And I'm not missing a thing. Watching the full moon crossing the ring, right in the storm. Storm out, right in the storm out, right in the storm out. Oh, yes I am. Watching for the snow, and thinking about what I've been missing in the city. And I'm not missing a thing. Watching the full moon crossing the ring, right in the storm out, right in the storm out, right in the storm